Jay-Z and Diddy have been close friends for years, but with Diddy now facing public scrutiny for various controversies, Ice Cube has shared some unexpected remarks about the Carters.
A lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers. The important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody.
Diddy started his music industry journey as an intern at a radio station around the same time Jay-Z began his career. A notable early incident in Diddy's career occurred during a celebrity basketball game he co-hosted at City College of New York. Tragically, the event ended in a stampede that claimed 9 lives. Then Mayor David Dinkins criticized Diddy for not ensuring experienced organizers were in charge, particularly as the event had oversold tickets. After spending some time at Uptown Records, Diddy went on to establish Bad Boy Records in 1993. His early success included releasing the notorious B.I.M.'s iconic album, Ready to Die, and helping launch the careers of major artists like Foxy Brown, Faith Evans, and Mary J. Blige. However, as time passed, Mark Curry revealed some of the hidden realities behind the scenes at Bad Boy Records.
I see these kind of things in his actions when I knew him or when I was around him. Did I see him have those bursts of violence? Just not on, you'd be like, he did it. If you seen that, it was another video. He won some, he just over cocky. That's why he got fired from Uptown. He's over, what do you call someone who's overly confident? To the point to where it's called arrogance, right? He's arrogant. Nothing wrong with being arrogant, but when you're arrogant and you do it in spiteful ways, then, so when I seen that and I reflect, and I'm like, man, I do remember seeing him be being physically violent towards females. I seen him be physically violent towards producers, other record execs, even artists. Always those kind of stories, man. But those stories are seen from the inside out, not from the outside in. So it's just like, sometimes you can tell, as a man, you'd be like, look, we're gonna need a fair one, or we a one-on-one, a fair one-on-one, and we fight as men so we can come to a resolution, right? So sometimes we fight as men, but you see that sometimes they fight, they keep fighting. They fighting with women, they fighting with people, they fighting with love, they fighting with they self. I seen him fight with his own self. I seen him be violent to his own self, forget anybody else. I seen him beat his own self up.
Wow, what you mean by that?
Meaning you putting yourself through so much stuff, you beating your own self up, you bringing yourself down with whatever kind of things you need at that time, whether it be alcohol, whether it be pills or whatever it is that you need. Sometimes people get addicted to pills. And when they get addicted to pills, that it alters the ego. All of that kind of stuff, devices. I seen it all, man.
And you said that you seen him get physical with his own artists?
Meaning like producers, mainly the hitmen. Mainly the producers. And what I mean by physical, it'd be like, sometimes it might be a physical fight between him and someone else. And you say, wow, you're fighting even with your own artists. You're fighting when you go home. You're fighting with people in your office. You're fighting with your girlfriend. You're fighting with me. You just want to fight everybody, don't you? And that's what, when you think of that name, that might be what he defines bad boy. It's really about that energy that he feels like what makes him. That's what makes him.
Diddy rose to prominence during the 1990s, a time defined by the heated rivalry between West Coast and East Coast hip-hop scenes. This era became a pivotal chapter in music history, particularly with the feud between Suge Knight, founder of Death Row Records, and Tupac Shakur, which ultimately led to the tragic deaths of both Biggie and Tupac. Although Diddy was never directly linked to these tragedies, countless rumors and conspiracy theories have surrounded the circumstances of their untimely deaths. Despite the controversies, Diddy's career continued to flourish. Jaguar Wright has shared a thought-provoking perspective on Diddy's achievements, shedding light on his impact on the industry. The White House held a funeral.
Thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Albie Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee. She was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim's dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left, Puffy and Al almost. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And I said, no. You want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Albie Shore was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit motherfucking game with people that you love, that you like, you know, too many coincidences.
Too many. You
honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too.
Diddy found himself at the center of controversy during the production of the music video for Hate Me Now, featuring Nas. The video included a scene depicting both artists being crucified, which sparked public outrage. Following the backlash, Diddy requested the scene's removal, but the uncensored version was leaked. This led to Diddy and Nas taking legal action against Interscope Records. Ultimately, Diddy pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and was sentenced to 1 day of anger management. This wasn't the only violent incident in Diddy's history. In a high-profile case at a New York nightclub, a heated argument escalated into a shooting that left 3 people injured. Both Diddy and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were arrested, facing charges of violence and gun possession. While Lopez's charges were dropped, Diddy went to trial, alleging racial bias against black men in the justice system. He was eventually acquitted, but his protege, Shine, was convicted and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Shine later accused Diddy of betrayal, further fueling public interest in the case.
According to this woman, she says that she's been telling this story consistently for years, but there's been a cover-up. And if we've learned anything from the Cassie story and the recent allegations and other lawsuits, it seems as if Diddy has a pattern of threatening people and cover-up. And she literally says that he has to end up paying her for that incident. Again, as always, these are allegations. I just want to play what she says for you, because a lot of people are saying she's been saying the same story for a very long time. A lot of this has been covered up, and this is why the public doesn't know about her story.
Hey, how you doing? So, here today about this latest lawsuit with the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him, lawsuit that has come out involving the producer Lil Rod. So basically his last two lawsuits, or last two major lawsuits, the one with Cassie, she made mention that Puffy made her carry his guns into nightclubs and wherever they went. And he threatened her to make her feel like she had to do so. And while there were lots of things of importance, that stood out to me. And I'm gonna tell you why. In this lawsuit with the producer Lil Rod, they were both SA'd by him and threatened and physically harmed. But in this lawsuit, he appears to be a very young producer to me. But he said something very specific. As a means of threatening him, Puffy said, "That's why I shot up the club in New York back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it." Let me tell you why that's of utmost importance to me. Because I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York shooting. The bullet, I got shot in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible, testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, "Puffy, pew pew me in the face." He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off. I've had all these youngins on the internet asking me, swearing that I'm making it up that he did it. And look what he did to Lil Rod. He threatened him. "Oh, you don't think I bust my gun? I shot up the club in Club New York and let Shine take the fall for it. I shot them people." Well. It only took 24 whole years for it to come out. You see this tattoo? This commemorates me getting shot. It took 24 years for him to come out and say it. I've been saying it all along, but y'all pick and choose who y'all want to believe. Oh, baby. You ain't seen nothing yet. Not only did he pew me in the face, he also set off a course of harassment against me for the past 24 years. When I tell you the things I went through, there was a time in 2017 and 2018 where I got 7 flats on my BMW. 7, the same tire, in a 2-year span. 7. You see this RICO charge that's about to come? This conspiring and pew-pewing up the club and ruining or attempting to ruin my life? As God as my witness, I will not stop until you suffer every single iota of punishment, until I have every second of recompense that you took from me. For every tear that I had to cry or my children had to cry, I am going to get $1 million back from you. I will not stop until you pay the price for what you did to my life. And for all you people out there in the internet and in cyberspace and in the far reaches of my life or the perimeters or wherever, who always like, oh, she just saying that to get some. Hell, what you got to say now? What you got to say now? I had some youngins on the internet that ain't even old enough, that weren't even alive when it happened, arguing me down, cussing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. Go check Instagram, it's there. Harassing my life. Harassing me. Oh, you lying, he ain't do that to you. You just want clout. You just chasing clout. What is that to chase clout about? How is that clout chase worthy? It doesn't even make sense. Well, I guess it will make sense in this new generation, but you better believe I will have my say.
Diddy has also faced allegations of exerting inappropriate influence over prominent figures in the music industry. While he is widely acknowledged for mentoring artists like Usher, accusations of mistreatment have emerged over the years. Similarly, claims have surfaced suggesting inappropriate influence on Justin Bieber during his younger years. These concerns have been echoed by figures like Reggie Wright, who has openly supported such beliefs.
I believe that they see these spark potentials in them, and and a parent will do anything to blow their kids up. Aaliyah mother settled for publishing rights for allowing R. Kelly to do what he did to Aaliyah. Janet Jackson family did it with the guy from can't think of his name right now, but I think it was the group called Shalamore or something like that. Did it with their family. She got her sister raising a kid thinking that she's the mama. I'll get too deep for y'all. But those situations has been happening.